So right now I'm with the beautiful Lyn Sky. She's an amazing performer. I've worked a lot of shows with her. And well, Lyn, how did you get into entertainment?
I used to work a lot of trade shows as a model. I got to work like a lot of awesome shows that were for all kinds of cool stuff. But all of a sudden I see the stilt walker go by and I'm like, it was the most exciting thing at the show to me. And I went over and talked to him. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to learn how to do this. And I'm like, I know everybody says that to you, but I really mean it. I want to make some big epic costumes and be a stilt walker. And I didn't even have a pen or anything. Like, I gave him my number. He remembered it. He called me the next day. I was on my way to a trade show in Miami, and we set up a lesson. And like, just like that one lesson, I started making costumes and started like, I'm gonna make some big epic cool costumes. And
well, let's talk about that. Okay, so Lyn is an amazing costume designer. Are all the costumes you have you make yourself?
Yep.
Wow.
I make all my costumes.
How many costumes do you have?
Oh, I don't even. They're completely taking over my house, my garage.
I've totally vouched that she has most of the craziest costumes I've ever seen. And I would say that you have all these different variety of themes that you do, like an angel, or you do like crazy alien costume, or a Mardi Gras costume, or anything that's festive. What is some of your favorite costumes you like to do?
I would say always my favorite costume is whatever the latest one I've done, because I'll make stuff and then I'll kind of get bored of it.
Right.
When I pick it back up to wear it to another thing, I'll usually try to spruce it up, add some stuff to it, make it more exciting, because I never feel like I'm done. I'm always like, if I had a little more time or a little more money to put into this, it could be like my vision. So everything tends to grow.
How long does it take you to make a costume, and what would you recommend them doing? If they have a theme or something they want to do?
They really all take different amounts of time. Usually I design for events, like they'll throw a theme at me, and I'll just see what I can come up with. But sometimes I'll just get an idea in my head, something random, and I'll just.
Well, I remember I went to the Star Wars cosplay after party, and you were there, and it was like crazy costume. I mean, what kind of?
It's really Twi'lek's a character.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
And you just
on Jabba's planet, and
very
I thought
cool.
That sounded like fun to me.
And you say, when you look at these characters, you say, all right, I can totally make that exactly. And you look at the picture and then go from there?
I didn't make it exactly as the character. I actually prefer, if I'm doing a character, to put my own spin on it.
Nice.
Because I don't like to just copy something down to the letter. I like to feel like I'm still being creative with it.
Right. And so how many different events have you done now, being these characters and now traveling and still walking?
Countless. I don't even.
Because you've done, I remember E-Day, B-Day, Earth Day, Birthday, these rock shows, and you do these music festivals, travel the world just doing this.
The answer, yeah.
That's freaking awesome. Here is Defenz Mechanizm. What's up?
Hello.
So there you go, Defenz Mechanizm in the house. She's an amazing performer as well. Tell us about how you first started getting into performing, dance, and making costumes and so forth.
I got into performing and dance because I was heavy into the rave scene back in 1999. And I just started going to parties and dressing up and putting on makeup, and people kept hiring me to be there.
Wow.
So after a while,
Very cool.
I just started making my rates larger and larger, and my costumes larger and larger as well. I got into stilts because my costume could be even larger, and I could be even taller, and I could be taller than everyone and everyone will see.
How long does it take to do the makeup for yourself?
I can do it in 20 minutes, I can do it in 2 hours, I can do it in 16 hours. It just depends on how detailed it's going to be and how long I have. I'll take all the time I possibly can that you will give me.
Wow. What got you to do a lot of the piercings and so forth?
I've had the full set for 15 years, and I started with just the one, so I just kept collecting. And I'm out of lip room, so I guess I'm done.
Wow, super cool. Very cool. Look at that. That's awesome. When you say, okay, I want to be this theme for this show, where do you get these inspirations?
Really all over the place. I mean, that's a hard call. You know, sometimes you get inspirations from cartoons or other characters you see. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. You have a weird dream.
Wow.
And you're like, what if I could be a monster like that?
Very cool.
It's really hard to say. They come from so many different places. Sometimes you design for the theme of the event. And sometimes you just take something very random and unique that came out of your head or something you used to think of as a child, and you just want to bring it to life.
What's your reaction from that?
Usually they have no idea where I was going with it. rarely does anybody get it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really care because I kind of like to hear other people's
Mhm.
spin on it.
Right.
Sometimes it's like a song. Whatever somebody got from it is sometimes better than the real story. So
Wow.
I'm cool with whatever people want to think.
Like when I went to MegCon, it was amazing to see how many hours it takes to make a costume. What is some hours that you put in? Like all night long, you'll work on a costume for an
Yeah.
event? Because you've done so many events, and then next day, wow, you're in a whole different costume. You're like, oh yeah, I just made that 2 days ago.
I literally use as much time as I have. Sometimes you'll get a call to do something at the last minute or a few days before, and you'll just start that and stay up all night for 3 days and go crazy. And so it depends on how much time I have. Sometimes
Very
if
cool.
it's a passion project, you'll work on it like over a year. Or
Where do you
see
store all the costumes? In
weirdness.
another room, another
I
closet?
wish I wish I had a really cool answer to that. I need a warehouse, but they're just all over my house. They're everywhere. It's just a museum of weirdness.
What advice would you give to like making costumes or wanting to be a costume designer?
Costumes. I would just let's say be imaginative and do what comes from you. Do what you feel, rather than like if you see something that you appreciated.
Yeah.
Maybe don't copy other people.
Right.
Just like be inspired.
That's
and
one thing
grow
I
your
see
own
about you
ideas.
guys. You guys are always very unique, and I like that. Every time I see you do shows with you, it's cool to see unique performers, and I feel like you guys have a unique style. Where does that come from? You just say, okay, you know what? I want to totally be different than what everyone else is going on and try something new. Where do you get that inspiration and motivation?
It's not exactly like a huge desire to be different than everybody. Like I appreciate a lot of different artists, and it's not like my mission to be different. It's just like my inspirations come and I create what I'm thinking, and I don't know, I usually do it by myself, kind of uninterrupted, work straight through on a project, and I just do what I'm feeling. I'll just work forever.
Just put on some cool music and just go at it.
Sometimes I'll put on some cool music, sometimes I'll work in silence, sometimes I'll, since I don't get a lot of time to read, I'll do like an audiobook, and I don't know, like whatever I'm listening to or thinking or feeling usually bleeds into my project in one way or another. So when I look at it later, I remember the exact thought that I had while I was creating it.
Wow. How do you get the inspiration to do what you do?
I'm obviously conjuring some sort of demon that just takes control of my body. Like, it just comes out. It comes from within.
Awesome. You do some other stuff, like you do some crazy...
I do all kinds of other stuff.
Explain to those that haven't seen you what the things you like to do on stage.
I like to grind metal into my mouth and that's sexy women's bodies. I love getting her dressed up in a skimpy costume, oiling up her ass, and just shooting fucking fire at it. It's fucking awesome.
Can you explain to them what grinding is
It's
about?
metal grinding, and it usually comes off of a costume, or I have an axe that I can grind off. I can be on jumping stilts, and I can chase you around the club and grind an axe at the back of your head if I wanted.
So these are sparks coming out?
Yes.
Very cool. How do you actually practice?
It is very dangerous. It's also a very classic sideshow item. But the metal can get in your eye, but usually gets trapped in the long eyelashes for me. You're usually supposed to wear goggles, but I've been around it enough that I really just don't.
Wow.
I just I watch myself, and I've learned to dance with it. I'm working on dancing with at least 2, and I build all the different metal costumes that you grind on, and the pieces come off. I have cyber chest pieces. I have a lot of steampunk things that I enjoy. I have a lot of cage skirts. I have a lot of crotch grinding pieces. I've started getting into wands and different arm pieces and just different props that I can bring to it as well. Use it and it'll grind.
So the grinder will grind on itself?
Yes.
Wow.
So I can dance and just squeeze it and do a lot more tricks with that, so I'm a lot more mobile.
Oh, very cool.
I prefer a cordless so that I can be mobile and I can jump around. A lot of people prefer corded because they say it puts off more sparks, but I think it's a lot more exciting for me to be mobile. I'm very hyperactive.
So any crazy experience you had on stage with the grinding and the sparks?
Most people think it's crazy when you hit yourself, and I've seen a lot of people with huge gouges on their thighs and whatnot, but like once it gets close to your hand, it kind of nicks it, it doesn't go any further, so I don't think it's that crazy. I can't really think of anything that was too crazy. I think I was on stilts, on a rotating stage, and I had a lot of shreds on my outfit, and I had a giant saw blade on my head that every time I moved, it would come down, and it was supposed to be like cutting all these balloons off of me or something. And it was only crazy when I was grinding while that was happening, and like a little bit of my skirt got stuck in the grinder, and I just had to like leave it there and just make my arms really big so no one could see what's happening.
Yeah. That's wild. What got you into that? What any inspiration just to try it?
My friend Jason, I worked a lot of fetish events with him, and he's like, this is a really sexy tool you can use. And first he started grinding on me, and then I just wanted to do it myself. I wanted the power of it. I love violence. I create as much as I destroy.
Is there a way to practice it as a safe way? How do you practice it?
Practice it by using the tool in my workshop and on stage. And I just practice the dance moves and the movements of how to hold it in different positions. I can lock it in place, so I don't necessarily have to look at it or care about it. You just make it natural so that you're not scared and you don't hurt yourself.
And what has performing given back to you?
I suppose it just makes you feel like your life was worth it. Like someone actually fucking cares that you're doing it. Like it justifies it, I suppose. And so I love to work towards the audience, but I'm also a Cancer. I love my shell. I would do this if no one was watching, but because they are watching, it helps pay my bills.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Lyn Sky? How has performing changed your life, and what has it given back to you?
Changed my life in so many ways, but I guess my favorite parts are I get to travel, but also I think all of the most extraordinary people that are in my life I've met from performing.
Yeah.
And that's probably the most special thing that has given back to me.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. Lyn Sky, check her out. Defenz Mechanism, super cool girls. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.